Hello, my name is John Bennett, and I'm your Math 003 Transition Math Instructor. This video will give you an overview of the course, as well as point out a few things that you might need to be aware of as you work through the course. First off, the very first thing you need to do is complete the required enrollment assignment. I'm going to bring up a screen share to show you where you can access that in OpenMoodle. So here's the screen that you would be seeing as you first log into Moodle. And there's some information for you here, which we'll go over as we get down to the required course assignment. First thing you might want to notice is your syllabus is here. It's useful to have a printed copy of this, but you can also access it through Moodle, or you can download it so that you can access it on your computer or on your tablet without having to be in Moodle. As I said, my name is John Bennett, and here is my email address. You can just click that link to send me an email. Normally, I'm in Building 5 in Office Cubicle 503J in that room. But of course, this being the summer, I won't be on campus very regularly, and we will conduct all of our office hours and such through virtual meetings. You can contact me through this phone number. It may not be an immediate reply, but I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. My office hours are currently TBA, to be announced, but I'll get to that in just a minute. The next thing you'll see on your screen is the Robeson Community College Academic Honor Code. Make sure you read through that just so you know what's expected of you. And then here is the required enrollment assignment. Notice that you must complete this by May 27th, 2021 at 1:50 p.m. or you will be dropped from the course. So you want to make sure that you get that done as soon as possible, because the remainder of the course is only available once you've completed that assignment. The next thing that you'll see once you've completed that assignment is the office hours poll. This is just really sort of a quick one-question quiz to let me know your availability. I want to be able to set up some office hours, some virtual office hours at times that are going to be useful to you, to the students, to be able to get answers to questions, maybe some tutoring help that they might need as they work through the course, and just generally be available to you. So this poll will allow me to see when students are most available. You can answer as many or as few of the times as you want, but it would be nice if you put in as many times as you might normally be available during the week, and I'll try to set up 2 to 3 hours that will accommodate most students. You can also arrange a specific time, and we'll try to get together that as well. And you'll be able to complete that office hours poll after you've done the enrollment assignment. The poll closes at the same time that the enrollment assignment closes. So make sure you do that right away. As you scroll down the page, even before you complete the assignment, you'll be able to see a block of Introduction to EdReady, but it will only show that header. And you'll be able to see a box for each of the tiers that you need to complete for the math that goes along with your program. As you'll see in our description, Math 003 is actually a combination of 3 different tiers. You will be required to complete 1 or 2 or all 3 of them based on the math that your program requires. And we'll go over that a little bit more, but you'll see either only tier 1, or perhaps you'll see tier 1 and tier 2, or you might see all 3 tiers listed. This is a clue as to how many of the tiers that you might need to complete during this 8-week course. Let's talk a little bit about how the course itself is going to work. All of the content is delivered through a program website called EdReady. So once you've completed your required enrollment assignment, you'll need to get enrolled into this courses section of EdReady. The first thing that you see here is you get a link here that shows you the process for enrolling, but this key right here is what you'll need to be able to enroll once you get to the EdReady site. So my suggestion is that you highlight that selection, that key right there, and you do a Control-C, or you copy it so that you can paste it in exactly on the EdReady page. You reach EdReady by clicking this link. And once you have done this process of putting in the key, this link will take you directly to the page and you'll be able to start your work immediately. I've got a one set up to kind of show you how you would be putting in your code. So let me switch over to that now. So now we'll switch over to the EdReady page. So here's what you would see when you click on that EdReady link. If you've used EdReady before, then you will see some goal keys that are already installed, that are already connected to your account. If you would like to continue using the goal keys that you already have, for example, you were partway through a study path or you're almost ready for an attempt on a test, then you can let me know and you can work inside of those goal keys. You'll need to make sure that you email me who your previous instructor was so that I can get access to that and I can see your work. If you want to just start over again, or if you don't have any keys to show, then you can click this button here and it will allow you to enter the goal key. Now I'm going to go back here just a second and make sure that I have that goal key copied correctly. And I'm just going to paste it right into that spot. And you'll see that there is entered, and then you click submit. And this is the only one that we want to enter now. And now you've got your goal key there. So in order to work within EdReady, you just have to click go to goal. And the very first thing you'll do is to take a diagnostic test. That's here. And you can go ahead and click that. You'll notice all the other portions of this goal key are locked. As you progress through the course, getting 100 on the study path, and then you're ready for your tier test, these will be unlocked for you as you go along. You're just concentrating here. One thing I would suggest that you do is to click this little slider button so that it shows the details. Once you've taken your diagnostic, some of these boxes will be filled in with different colors to help you quickly see your progress through the tier. So once you're ready to start your test, you just click Start Diagnostic. Click through and start the test. Some of you, if you've used this before, you may see this option. And again, you can make your choice as to which one you would like to do. And I'm just going to click continue here. And so what you see here is that some of the test has been completed. One of the things that within the test I'd like to point out to you is you will have the option to skip questions, or you can try to answer them and hope you get them right. But during the initial diagnostic, I would suggest that you use the skip button. That way, the program will understand that you don't know the answer to that question, or you're not sure about the answer to that question. And so you'll have the option of working on it as you begin to work through the study path. You want to make sure that you can master all of the topics in the study test, in the study path, before you try to take the test. So anything that you're not sure about would be good for you to just skip, and that way you'll be sure that it comes up. Now, as you can see, there's some different colors here, and a key so that you understand what those colors mean. Then, if you need to work on a topic, you just click on View the Study Path, and then it begins to get you going. As you can see, I just sort of took some of the questions, didn't answer them all. I got a 53 from the current score. And I have to get all the way up to 100 before I can take the tier test. I can learn, and this will allow you this will give you some instruction on the topic and allow you to take some practice quizzes and stuff. And then when you're sure about it, you can click the test. And by completing and doing well on the test, that's how you improve your score up to 100. You will need to master each and every topic on in each tier before you get to the 100 and before you can take the tier test. And you just continue to work through the study path until you're at 100. Once you're at 100, you notify me. There's a couple of things that we have to do beforehand, but then I'll unlock the test and you can take the test. All right. So that's sort of an overview of how the EdReady works. Now, I just want to talk a little bit more about this class in particular. So now let's go back into our Moodle here. Right, and so again, remember, you can always get to EdReady just by clicking this link here in the Introduction to EdReady section. You will also see pacing guides based on the number of tiers that you need to complete in the 8-week course over the summer. One thing to remember is that these pacing guides are set up based on the fact that this is what's called a 6 contact hour class. If this class was meeting on campus during a regular 16-week semester, it would meet for 6 hours a week. Since this is an online class and we're meeting in the summer, which is only an 8-week semester, that means that you need to spend approximately 12 hours every week working in EdReady. I'm able to document your time, and I will pull those records every Wednesday morning to make sure that you've completed your 12 hours in the previous week. We'll call a week ending each Tuesday. I set it up that way because the last day of class is actually a Tuesday. And so everything will have to be completed by that last Tuesday. And you should be documenting and you should be working inside of EdReady for at least 12 hours a week in order to stay on the pacing guides and be able to complete the tiers that you need to complete in the time span. Most of you will see either the Tier 1 completion guide, or you may see a Tier 1 and Tier 2 completion guide. And again, that's just simply based on how many tiers you need to complete. And then you'll see some information about the tiers down at the bottom. Now, let's talk a little bit about the grading for Math 003. It's graded in a much different way than probably any other course that you've taken is graded. There are 4 different grades that you can get in Math 003. And the grades are completely dependent on how many tier tests you pass by the end of the 8 weeks. You can get a P1, which means you passed only Tier 1. If your program requires you to have Math 110, this is the only tier that you need to complete. Some examples of programs that use only Math 110 and therefore you only need Tier 1 are cosmetology and welding. Those are the 2 biggest ones. There's a few others as well, but those are the 2 biggest ones and ones that most students are from. If you need Math 143 or Math 152, or you're in a pre-allied health program such as nursing or radiology, for example, then you need to complete Tiers 1 and Tier 2 so that you can score a P2 in this class. And that allows you to take either of those classes, Math 143 or Math 152, with no co-requisite. For the pre-allied health programs, you're required to complete those 2 tiers before you can apply to be admitted to those programs. And so those must complete those 2 tiers. And then, of course, if you complete Tier 3, which is generally needed for students which are in the Associate of Science or STEM-heavy majors, they would need to do Tier 3 as well so that they can take Math 171. And that would give you a P3. If you are not able to complete any tiers before the end of the 8 weeks, then you receive a grade of R, meaning that you need to retake Math 003. Now, one of the unique features about Math 003 is it's possible for you to get a passing grade, but still have to retake it. For example, if you're one of those students, say you're a pre-nursing student and you complete tier 1, but you're not able to pass the tier 2 test before the end of the 8 weeks. That means that you would get a P1, which is a passing grade, but you would still have to take Math 003 again to be able to finish up that tier 2. And so it's to your benefit if you complete those 12 hours of work each week in Ed Ready, and you are able to take those tier tests within this 8-week period so that you can be fully be able to enroll in those classes. All right. Now, I've mentioned taking the tier tests. Once you have gotten your study path up to 100, there is one more step that you have to take in order to be able to take the tier test, and that is to download, sign, and upload the honor code statement. The honor code statement basically indicates that you realize when you're taking the tier test that you are not supposed to receive any outside help. No one additionally can help you during the tier test. You're not able to you should not be accessing any other websites other than the test in Ed Ready. You are allowed to use a calculator, and you're allowed to use the formula sheet, which you can download in the introduction section here. So you are allowed to use those things during the tier test, but no other helps. You have to, and the statement says that you understand that those are the only things that you can use, and that all of the work you've done on the tier test is your own work. And once that has been signed and uploaded, and I will then be able to turn on the tier test for you so that you can work on that. The tier test is not timed. You can take as long as you want to work on it. But again, remember, it has to be your own work. And so you need to make sure that you're in a nice, quiet environment and that you can concentrate and complete that test. So I hope that's given you a good overview of for the information that you need. If you would like to still meet with me and have some additional questions that you need to ask, feel free to email me or give me a call, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. Hope you have a good semester, and I look forward to working with you.